Polo Blue. Just saying the name out loud takes you somewhere, doesn't it? It takes you back to summer, to a barbecue in a garden that isn't yours, to a man who smells like he's just stepped off a yacht and somehow made that look effortless. Polo Blue has been doing that since 2003, and the original Eau de Toilette version is one of the best-selling male fragrances in history. But here's the thing. Most people have never smelled this version, the Eau de Parfum. And that, my friends, is a genuine shame. Because while the EDT is a classic, this reformulated, deepened, more serious Eau de Parfum concentration takes everything that made Polo Blue iconic and gives it weight, warmth, and a whole new level of sophistication. Today, we're looking at the 200 ml bottle, which is sitting at 83 pounds over on P11, and I'm going to tell you exactly whether that money is well spent, or whether you'd be better off sticking with the original. Let's get into it. Ralph Lauren, as a fragrance house, sometimes gets overlooked. People think fashion first. The polo shirts, the American preppy aesthetic, the aspirational lifestyle branding. But this is a brand that has been producing genuinely excellent fragrances for decades. The original Polo Green from 1978 is a landmark masculine fragrance, a proper chypre fougère that still holds up today. Romance, safari, black. There's a serious back catalog here that doesn't get the credit it deserves in fragrance communities. And Polo Blue, which launched in 2003, created by perfumer Christophe Laudamiel alongside Lac Dong, was something of a genre-defining moment. It helped popularize that clean, aquatic, melon-forward masculine aesthetic that basically dominated the early 2000s. So when they decided to revisit it and create an Eau de Parfum version, there was a lot to live up to, and a lot of expectations to manage. Let's talk about what you're actually holding in your hand, because with 200 milliliters you are holding something substantial. This is a serious piece of glass. The bottle maintains that iconic Polo Blue silhouette, that wide, slightly curved rectangular shape with the deep cobalt blue glass. It's bold, confidently bold. The blue is rich and saturated, not a pale, watery blue. This is deep ocean blue, almost like an ink blue in certain lighting. The metal cap feels weighty, it clicks satisfyingly when you press it on, and the spray mechanism gives a clean, even mist rather than that horrible spluttery spray you get on cheaper bottles. On the front, you have the Ralph Lauren Polo Player emblem, and the Polo Blue branding is clean and unfussy. No over-designing here. The packaging box matches the bottle, that same deep cobalt blue with gold lettering. It looks premium on a shelf. It looks like it cost more than 83 pounds, which is always a good sign. And 200 ml means this is going to sit on your dresser for a long time. This is a commitment bottle, a statement purchase. All right, first spray. Here we go. The opening of Polo Blue EDP hits differently to the EDT, and I want you to understand exactly how. The EDT opens with that famous, almost shocking blast of fresh melon and cucumber. Very aquatic, very immediately refreshing. The EDP does retain some of that freshness, but it's immediately warmer, slightly softer, less sharp. You still get that aquatic quality. There's definitely a marine, almost ozonic quality in the very first seconds. But the melon here is riper, more rounded, less like a freshly sliced honeydew melon, more like one that's been sitting in the sun for an hour. There's a subtle citrus lift as well, a gentle bergamot quality that adds brightness without screaming at you. And then something else arrives almost immediately, a slightly earthy aromatic quality that tells you right away this is not just the EDT with extra concentration. The projection in the opening is confident. Spray this in a room, and people in the room will know you've just sprayed something. It has presence. It announces itself without being aggressive. That's a skill not every fragrance has. As the fragrance settles into its heart, And this happens within about 20 to 30 minutes. Something quite lovely happens. The aquatic freshness softens and recedes slightly, and a beautifully blended combination of woody and aromatic notes begins to emerge. There's a quality I can only describe as fresh suede here. Something slightly smooth and skin-like that adds intimacy to a fragrance that started quite open and airy. Sage appears in the heart, giving a slightly herbal, almost culinary quality. It's not overpowering, but it adds depth. And there's a violet-esque floral quality that gives a gentle, slightly powdery softness. I want to be careful not to oversell the complexity here, because Polo Blue EDP is not a complex fragrance in the way that, say, a niche perfume with 18 listed notes is complex. What it is seamlessly blended. Masterfully blended, actually. Every transition is smooth. There are no jarring moments where you think, wait, what was that? It just flows. And in the heart phase, wearing it against warm skin on a summer evening, this smells genuinely gorgeous. Accessible but not boring. Familiar but not generic. After 3 to 4 hours, this is where Polo Blue EDP really distinguishes itself from its EDT sibling. The dry down is where the eau de parfum concentration earns its price premium. The base here is warm, slightly musky, with a beautiful sandalwood quality that gives the fragrance real comfort and skin-like closeness. There's a vetiver undertone, earthy, slightly smoky, very grounded, that stops this fragrance from floating away into nothing. And there's a subtle amber quality, not a heavy, resinous amber, more like a soft, golden warmth that sits just underneath everything. The result is a dry down that smells distinctly more sophisticated than the EDT's dry down, which can sometimes become a little thin and sharp on certain skin types. The EDP's dry down is rich without being heavy. It's the kind of scent that someone leaning in close to you will notice and find deeply attractive. It becomes a skin scent, yes, but an excellent one, an intimate one. And on a cold autumn evening, this dry down is genuinely special. It has this quality of clean warmth that works beautifully against the cold air. Right? Let's be honest here, because this is where your money is either justified or isn't. Longevity on skin. I'm getting between 7 and 9 hours comfortably. That's on my skin type, which tends to be moderately good with fragrance. On clothing, this lasts significantly longer. For 40 hours, possibly into the next day, is sprayed on a jacket or a scarf. That is excellent performance for a fragrance in the price bracket. The EDT by comparison often fades noticeably within 4 hours on skin. So, the EDP is a genuine improvement in longevity, not marginally, meaningfully. Sillage in the first 2 hours is moderate to strong. You will leave a trail. People will notice as you walk past. It's not a nuclear projection fragrance. It's not Sauvage or Aventus-level Sillage, but it has enough presence that you won't feel invisible. After about 3 hours, it drops to a more personal projection, closer to the skin, and then becomes that intimate, dry-down scent I described. So the journey is confident arrival, beautiful middle chapter, warm, intimate finish. That arc is really well balanced. Now, this is listed as unisex, and I think that's technically accurate, but let's be honest, this wears as a masculine-leaning fragrance for the most part. Women who enjoy fresh, clean, slightly aquatic scents with woody warmth will absolutely enjoy this, but it was designed with the masculine market in mind, and it reads that way. In terms of age, this works broadly. It's not a fragrance that feels dated to a specific generation. Younger wearers will find it fresh and modern. More mature wearers will appreciate the depth and the dry down. Season-wise, and this is important, This is primarily a warm weather fragrance. Spring and summer are its home. The opening freshness, the aquatic quality, the lightness of the heart. It all sings in heat. That said, the EDP's warmer base makes it more versatile than the EDT. I've worn this comfortably on cool autumn days, and it works beautifully. Occasion, this is not a formal office fragrance. This is weekend fragrance, holiday fragrance, first date fragrance, casual dinner fragrance. It's social, approachable, and attractive without being threatening. 83 pounds for 200 milliliters. Let's do the maths. That works out to just under 42 pence per milliliter, which is genuinely good value for an eau de parfum from a major prestige house. You're not in the territory of a 10-pound bottle, but you are getting a serious fragrance at a price that won't make your eyes water, and 200 ml is going to last most people a long time. P11 currently has this listed on their site. You can find it at p11.com. And at that price point for that volume, it represents solid value. Are there alternatives? If you love Polo Blue EDP but want to explore the family, the EDT is cheaper and more widely available. If you want something in a similar fresh aquatic woody space but niche, you could look at things like Davidoff Cool Water EDP or even some of the more affordable Maison Margiela replica scents. But for straightforward bang-for-your-buck mainstream quality, Polo Blue EDP is hard to beat. I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. It loses points for not being the most complex or adventurous fragrance in the world. It's not trying to be. But for what it is, a beautifully crafted, highly wearable, reliable, attractive masculine fragrance, it's excellent. The EDP upgrade over the EDT is real and meaningful, and that's what makes this the version I'd recommend. Here's where I land on this. If you already own and love Polo Blue EDT, you owe it to yourself to try the EDP. It's not just more of the same. It's a genuinely grown-up, more nuanced version of a fragrance you already know you enjoy. The longevity alone makes it worth the investment. And if you've never owned any version of Polo Blue, if you've somehow managed to avoid one of the best-selling masculine fragrances of the last 20 years, then this EDP is absolutely the place to start. Don't go backwards to the EDT. Start here. You can grab the 200 ml bottle over at P11, link is in the description below. And at 83 pounds for 200 ml, it's the kind of purchase that doesn't come with buyer's remorse. Polo Blue EDP, 8 out of 10, reliable, attractive, and genuinely better than you might expect. Now I want to hear from you. Do you own Polo Blue? Have you tried the EDP versus the EDT? What do you think? Is the upgrade worth it? Drop it in the comments below. And if you found this review useful, hit that subscribe button. There's a lot more where this came from.